What's up, everybody? I am doing a tag, and it's not a rap tag for once, so I'm actually going to do it. I have been tagged by PokeAimMD, my good friend, and my other good friend, Emvee, who decided that they wanted to see me do this. So I am doing it. It is my Pokemon Sun and Moon team. This is the team I'm going to be aiming to collect through my playthrough to use in my playthrough. Obviously, not a particularly competitive team. It isn't going to be my OU team or anything similar like that, but it is going to be the team that I try and play through the game with. So not going to care about IVs or natures or anything like that. I'm just going to grab mons and move on. So starting off with the starter, because that's the first mon you get in Pokemon games, I'm going to be choosing Rowlet, and I'm going to be evolving it into a Decidueye as soon as possible. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Rowlet, I love the grass flying typing, but once I saw Decidueye, the hood and the sort of Robin Hood kind of inspiration around him, or Green Arrow, I actually saw a lot of Green Arrow in the inspiration around him because he's an archer and he's got the hood and all of that, and I know Green Arrow was inspired by Robin Hood, but I love Decidueye. The fact that he's based on the extinct Hawaiian Stiltowl just makes him even better. He's a ghost type because he's extinct. I love that. I really love that. So the ghost typing as well, awesome typing, grass ghost, great competitive typing. You've seen Trevenant, you've seen Gorgeist. They don't have the best stats, but they're still incredibly cool, incredibly useful mons. So just imagine how good it would be if it has good base stat and good type coverage. Really excited by Decidueye. So I'm hoping he gets a lot of ghost type moves when he evolves. I'm hoping he gets stuff like Phantom Force. I'm hoping he gets stuff like Shadow Sneak. I'm hoping he gets a lot of physical ghost type moves. He's got his special move, the Spirit Arrow, that stops opponents' Pokemon from escaping, but I don't think that's going to be particularly useful in non-competitive play. I know that that will actually probably be a really good move in competitive play, but in non-competitive play, not particularly useful. But I am going to really enjoy using him, especially since he's a flying typing in his earlier forms, which means he probably gets a lot of flying type coverage anyway. I know he loses the stab, but we don't really care about stab that much when we're just using it for coverage. I mean, a lot of Pokemon use non-stab moves just fine. Right, so that's it for Decidueye. Not really much more to say on my starter, other than the shiny looks awesome, and, you know, if I get a shiny on my playthrough, that's great. I'm not going to be soft resetting. I know Joey said that he's going to soft reset for a shiny Litten. I am not brave enough to do that. I do not have the time for that. I'm going to be doing my playthrough, and whatever Rowlet I get is the Rowlet I get, basically. Next mon is Oranguru, which means I will be playing Moon version if possible. If not, I will be trading an Oranguru to my Sun version ASAP. He's a normal psychic type, which I think is a great typing. I love the typing. He's super bulky, but he's an orangutan, and that's the thing that really makes me like him. I love orangutans. I think they're an amazing animal. I really like them as an animal. They were one of my favorite animals as a kid. I read the Terry Pratchett books, so if you've ever read the Terry Pratchett books, the Discworld series, I was a big fan of those when I was growing up, sort of like 10, 11, 12. I read all of those books as they came out. I was really a huge fan of the Discworld books, and obviously the Librarian is an orangutan, and that's why my Oranguru is going to be named Librarian. And I love him. A normal psychic type is great. His ability and special move, the ability obviously being telepathy, doesn't work in anything but double battles, and his special move is only to make things use a move again in double battles, so completely useless in a playthrough, but who cares? He's an orangutan, he's super cool, I get to call him the Librarian. I'm happy with this orangutan. I will be catching a male one because it's going to be the Librarian from Discworld, and you know, that's how a lot of my mons, I choose them based on like stuff that I liked as a kid or things like that, and an orangutan Pokemon had to be used. There is no other choice. I know that Domaniton is kind of an orangutan Pokemon, but let's be honest, he's not a proper orangutan. Oranguru is a full-blown 100% orangutan, and that is why I am going to be using him in my playthrough. So I've got a psychic type, I've got a normal type, I've got a ghost type, I've got a grass type in Decidueye and orangutan. Loads of type coverages right off the base. We're just plowing that type coverage into the ground with this team. Really excited to use those two mons. Next up, we're going to go Mama Salandit, Big Mama Salandit. I don't know what her name is yet because she hasn't been officially revealed. She is part of the leaks, so spoilers here. If you don't want to see what she looks like, then walk away. Too late, she's on the screen now. So she's a poison fire type. Awesome, such a cool looking mon. This is a shiny I would really like to get. I love the shiny. She's a Velociraptor looking thing, and I'm saying she because she looks very feminine. I know that there might be a male form of it. The leaks hinted that maybe there'd be a male variant of it which looked different, so you get some sexual dimorphism like you do in other mons, but we're not sure yet. Poison Fire, awesome ability if it keeps its ability from Salandit, which I'm assuming it will. We can Toxic anything, including Steel types and Poison types. It's awesome. Just awesome. I really, really like this Pokemon. Everybody really likes this Pokemon. Let's be honest, people really, really excited by Salandit. I am really, really excited by Mama Salandit, and I am really looking forward to using Mama Salandit in my playthrough. That is awesome. And now we've got Fire, we've got Poison, we've got Normal, we've got Psychic, we've got Ghost, and we've got Grass. Look at all those coverage. I'm going for loads of dual-type Mons. And my next Mon is actually another dual-type Mon, but it doesn't actually add any typings to my team because it is a Ghost Fire type, and it is Alolan Marowak. I had to get some of my Gen 1 love in here. I love Gen 1. I grew up on Gen 1. I got Gen 1 when I was like 8 years old. 1997, 1998 it came out. I got it the day of release. In the UK, so I can't remember the UK release date, honestly, but I was like 7 or 8, and I played with a Marowak in my original playthrough. I had a Marowak in my original playthrough. I'm not going anywhere. I'm bringing Marowak back, and it's a Ghost type now, so it's really appropriate. 20 years on, it's the same Marowak. It's just died now, and it's a Ghost. It's Ghost Fire. Love the typing. Really, what isn't to love? Ghost Fire is a great typing. We've seen it before, and we know it's a great typing. Chandelure has an amazing typing. Hopefully, it gets a really cool ability. I'm hoping for Shadow Tag. Really hoping for Shadow Tag so that this thing is viable in VGC as a Perish Trapper, because Marowak gets access to Perish Song. So I really, really want to see it be a Shadow Tag, and then VGC this year, in VGC 17, Perish Trap will be an option. And if it is an option, I will be running it, because I love Perish Trap. You guys know I love Perish Trap. You've seen my free-for-alls. You know I love it. I'm really excited by a Ghost Fire Marowak that could possibly have Shadow Tag. I hope that it still gets its Thick Club boost if you equip a Thick Club, or maybe there's a new one like Flaming Club that does like special attack, and it's a special attacker. That could be really, really cool. We don't know yet. It's based on a Fire Dancer. It's an awesome Pokemon. If you don't like Alolan Marowak, you're doing it wrong. It is a fantastic Pokemon, and you have no taste if you don't like it. So, that is it. We've got one more Alolan form on the team. It's going to be one more typing, and then a double up on a Psychic type from earlier, and that is Alolan Raichu. I love Alolan Raichu. I love Raichu. I don't like Pikachu that much. I'm not the biggest Pikachu fan in the world, and I know that's terrible to say as a Pokemon fan. It's like, oh, I don't like the mascot that much. I'm too edgy. No, I always like fully evolved Mons. I like to get the most power out of my Pokemon, and evolving Pikachu into Raichu, power boost. I know Light Ball exists and all of that nonsense, but the power boost is there. He gets faster, he gets stronger, he is superior in every way. Raichu is superior to Pikachu. He looks cooler too. And Alolan Raichu is awesome. He's surfing, he's a bit buffed out, he's all the sharp edges have been buffed away, and he's just smooth and surfy and just cool. So I really, really like Alolan Raichu. Once again, his ability really isn't doing us any favors. Surge Surfer, we're not going to be getting electric terrain up unless we run electric terrain on Alolan Raichu, which is an option if they give it to him in this game, which I hope they do. But the coverage is great. He's an electric type and a psychic type. I love the psychic typing on him. And I just love how he looks, and I love how he animates, and I love the surfing animation. Everything about him I really, really enjoy. So I will be running Alolan Raichu on my team if I can get hold of a Pikachu and a Thunderstone and evolve him in my playthrough. Obviously, all of this depends on the playthrough. Finally, last Mon on the team, and this is going to be one that is less to do with my personal preference for the Mon's design and more to do with how good I think he's going to be in a playthrough and how I needed a Dragon type, because I've always had a Dragon type in my team. Every single generation I've ever played through, I've had a Dragon type in my team, so I need myself some Kommo-O. Kommo-O is awesome. He's based on Hawaiian Warriors. His description references the haka, which is awesome because if you've ever watched rugby, I'm a big rugby fan, huge rugby fan. Everybody knows about the haka, so big deal that they talk about that in his description. That was a thing that endeared me to him a little bit and made him viable for my team. Kommo-O, I actually prefer Hakamo-O's design. I think Hakamo-O looks better, and he's got Haka in his name, so I might even choose not to evolve him. But as I said earlier, I don't use unevolved Mons very much. To be honest, we don't play with unevolved Mons around here, so probably going to evolve him into the Kommo-O. Really looking forward to using him. Fighting Dragon is an awesome type. Just the idea of just a dragon punching stuff in the face until it dies and actually having that fighting typing to back up that whole idea. I actually think Druddigon should have been dragon fighting. Way back in the day, it was like Druddigon, that should be dragon fighting, but it wasn't, and there was nothing we could do about it. So, really excited to use the tribal warrior based Kommo-O in my playthrough. So that is my team, guys. It's going to be my in-game team, obviously. I might try and make a fun competitive team off of it, just for playing people on the stream who are a little bit less experienced, because often on stream, people are like, oh, I'm a little bit less experienced at competitive battling. Can you use a fun team? So I might make a fun team out of these 6 mons for OU or for fighting other people who are using OU teams. But other than that, I doubt I'll be using this competitively. As I've said before, Oranguru, not particularly competitive in singles. Alolan Raichu, not particularly competitive in singles, I don't think. But Salandit, Decidueye, Alolan Marowak, I think all of those have a place in competitive singles. And Kommo-O, he's definitely going to have a place in competitive singles. I'm not sure what tier, but come on. He's a big fighting dragon. He's going to be a pseudo-legend. He's going to have great base stats. Right, so that's it. That is my competitive team. What are your teams going to be? You can comment down below. And of course, this is a tag, so I'm going to tag a few people. Hoodlum Scrafty, I'm calling you out. The Pokemon Professor, I want to know what you're bringing to the Sun and Moon playthrough. I know you're going to do your money lock for the Sun and Moon. You've got to do the money lock for Sun and Moon Pokemon Professor. So what are you going to be bringing to your money lock? And finally, I am calling out Wolfie Glick, World Champ. We want to see what your in-game team is. So Wolfie Glick, you better make this video. And I will see you all next time. Alright then guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, you can click up here to see more videos of this type on my channel. If you want to check out something else a little bit different, then you can click down here. And if you want to see everything that I upload, you can click the subscribe button right here.